what is being stated here is something which correlates with this one here, which shows 13 corridors for XRP, and I'm surprised. Where is Singapore dollar? So something is coming to be added in this so soon. Now this one, if you listen here, the statement made here is directly showing how the statement made here is being practically executed, and all of this matches with the market havoc preparing for a new financial system, including the digital assets. When you look at this one is ETH on daily, and you can see the institutions are not going to miss this gigantic rally here. It's no different this time, and it's gonna go so high, and they are in fact preparing to join the party and to take maximum profit out of it, or suck out the maximum profit. Whether you are looking at ETH, BTC or XRP, you get this. Now XRP is no different. The only thing is it is more liquid asset connected to regulated institutions, and the price is so low compared to others, say currently around 0.15. So an asset with this low price, for this it's so easy to go 500x, 1000x, 1400x easily. If you look at the previous rise, that was 1400x. Okay, take half of that, 500 or 700. So while you select your horse for this race, it should be based on the facts and history. Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now I'll play this one for you guys first.
Or broaden, create the ability actually to have multiple reserve currencies, which has always been talked about, but in actual fact extremely difficult to have because it tends to switch.
Now, currently you have a system which support all of this. Say XRP ledger, you can put every type of basket of currencies in that. If you want your reserve as euro, you can do that. If you want it as dollar, you can do that and still switch them between. That's the benefit of using XRP ledger. Now, when you actually go into the next one, say this one, listen what he is actually stating. The guy is actually from Bank of America.
Much front and center of our strategy to partner with fintechs with core capability that is complementary to our own platforms and provide those services to our clients under that relationship umbrella.
So say they are using fintechs within their existing framework to get more out of it to give to their clients. So what do you think the platform will be? The question is not that misunderstanding, right? If you don't even have to go through the different difficult thinking process, just these are directly connected. Now when we actually look at the charts, say this one is ETH, then BTC and XRP. Now if you guys don't understand or believe what I said previously, if you don't agree, okay, it's okay, no problem with me for XRP. If you guys have a difference in opinion about what I stated about XRP going 500x, 700x and all, if you don't agree, okay, let's just zoom in to the charts and look where we are now and what type of pattern we are creating here, and then we'll compare it with what happened previously, say during 2016 to 2017 here, and the current scenario of 2019 to 2020 here. When you actually look at this, you can actually see a rounded bottom here, trying to show you that yeah, we are gonna go up, we are just bottoming out, we are gonna go this way. Now yes, we also kind of felt it that way when we saw the rounded bottom and the head and shoulder pattern, something was coming up, and we also believed that. But if you see the red line, it didn't hold there, the price just broke below and this came to the downside. Now the downside is kind of moving to the downside here. Now this is 2020, right? Now when you actually go look at the same duration or the pattern before the pump in 2016, 2017 area, you can actually see something similar, the rounded bottom. Then it couldn't hold that here, it showed that it's gonna go high, but it came back down and hit a new low. You see that it was a new low there, then a teeny tiny bounce. Now if you actually look at what's happening here, you can see that it came below and it made a new low. You can zoom out and see it made a new low and then a bounce. Now here it wasn't that teeny tiny bounce, but it bounced. Then you compare here, then it came back again below than that low. That means it made a new low there. And if you look at what happened here, you can see something similar. So that's kind of a What happened here is kind of linking with the other assets. As we discussed yesterday, volatile assets tend to go together during market crashes and volatile times, right? That's science, that's literature showing you the behavior of institutions. If you haven't watched that video, you can just have a look at that. Just move around it, scan it, you can understand. Now if you look at this, you can actually say similar dump here previous to that enormous skyrocketing effect here, right? So when we actually see it, look at this, and we understand this pattern is something similar to this, the chances are that we may experience something like this. But yes, the market participants are different, market volume is different, the supply in the market, currently circulating supply of the market is different. So the pattern may be a bit different, but don't expect that it will be entirely different this time, because most of the time when we say it's different this time, it is not. Maybe the time difference, fluctuation pattern are different, but still you get something similar there. If you find value from this video, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and by the end of the video, if you like the content, do obliterate the like button. And something similar here means not that small, right? XRP just went 1400x last time if you consider it from its bottom to its top. Bottom of one cycle to the top of other cycle. Now yes, you can argue that even though Bitcoin is having higher price, it also did not bad, right? It came somewhere around 1000x. That was not bad when you consider the movement from $169 to around $20,000. That also did well. So if you actually look at Ether during the same time frame, you get the price movement from around $6 to $1,400. So yes, we managed to do that as the whole in a digital asset space. When you actually come and look at this here, this is the altcoin market cap, and you can actually, if you measure from the bottom to the top here, you kind of get around the 1400x in terms of price rise from this bottom to this top here. I'm not lying, you can actually see that here, right? So those guys who are new here, and when they see like we are talking about 1000x, 1400x, they'll be like, these guys are mad. No, if you look at the chart, you can actually see this happened previously. And when you say it's going to be different this time, I don't agree with that statement, because most of the experienced investors or established guys in the investment market don't agree with you guys. Now, look at this. Now, this is Ethereum chart, right? If you look at the pattern evolving here, you can actually understand it's something similar here. Okay, just look at this one. It actually came from the top here to the bottom here. If you see, there was the top, it was the distribution area here, multiple tops, and then starting that downtrend. So when it was coming to the downside, it made that low there. If you zoom in and see, the only difference here for it, for the current pattern and the previous one, is that here first time it made a new low, and the second time it was a higher low, whereas this time it's like lower low here the second time. Now if you look at the same for XRP, it was a lower low which was made the second time. So that doesn't mean lower low and higher low is gonna show you entirely different forecast in terms of the price and future. Even XRP had lower low, still it went even more than ETH. Then if you actually look at BTC, you actually get kind of similar pattern which is shown in this rectangle here in this rectangle. Now yes, it's a bit big, but if you actually look at this, say for example this red line as a support here, it holded until here and it broke below and it was retesting this area. Now during this cycle we didn't actually get the retest, instead we were above, like we were above this particular line for most of the time and then broke below that. Now here also the same thing happened. After the retest, it came back below here. It was being supported here. Now if you look at this line, it was always there, right, acting as a support. And even though this was a support here, it just broke below that, kicked all of the weak hands out, and then slowly, it took around 70 days to move back up into the trading range or into above the support. You can actually look at the same. If we are to do that in next 2 to 2.5 months, then that's gonna be 1000x for BTC. Now yes, I'm not a BTC guy, but what you see in the charts, you can actually consider that as something wrong, because as we know from the past, charts are showing you what's gonna happen, or at least what happened previously when this pattern occurred. So in the same aspect, now if you look at this bottom here and the pump up high and this one, you can actually see this came down and it went a bit up. You see this? And then again, it slowly came to the downside and made kind of a U bottom and went to the upside. You can see similar thing happening here, and then this one, a market havoc, right? And this one here, similar, a market havoc. And then it consolidated there for some time and went back into this. Now, if you look at Ether, you can actually see a kind of similar trend. You were actually traveling to the downside. You had a bit of pump here, this one. You had a downside and then a bit of pump here. And then you came to the downside. But here it was even lower here. And the next time was higher low, as I mentioned previously before that pump started. But what you have to think is the reaction of Ethereum after that pump, after that dump was quick. It just moved towards the range of this highs. See, if that happens here, that means it will be coming around $700 to $1,400 per Ether if it's gonna get a bounce and if it's gonna behave in a similar pattern. If we look at the entire altcoin market cap, what we can see is something similar. We actually made this here pattern, this pattern here, it's similar, and then this one. The difference is that this time we came even lower. Now the wick came even lower, and if you consider this long-term support line here, we were above that. And if you look at the similar thing, okay, I'll just put a horizontal line so you can understand that this long-term support line, we are still holding that. So this is kind of similar to that of previous cycle here for the entire altcoins. So it's not like one altcoin is gonna go up. Now, yes, I agree with what Brad stated, but it will be after 5 to 10 years when the actual utility will be kicking in for most of the coins. Those coins without utility may go to zero. It will be possible. But as of now, I don't think that's the case. At least for the first 10, 20 cryptos in the coin market cap, they'll actually survive. Guys, that's all for today, and if you guys like the content, again, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button and obliterate the like button. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.